Here today at KDKA Radio Intercom Communications with my friend John Dioguardi from Rome Monument. His father and I go way back, as does his mother, his whole family, his children. Rome Inspirations, love what they do. They've been a part of my life since day one. You know, their slogan is memorializing family since 1934. I'm going to do a couple of videos here today. Let's begin, though, because of the significance on this day, 1949. My parents were married. Figured he'd call me into the station today on a very significant day that I get to see a real part of my family, as is his father. 1949, the mills were booming, everybody was working, life was good. Your family was a big part of it, my family a big part of it. Obviously things changed and we saw the evolution of which manufacturing and those middle class jobs just basically disintegrated and disappeared. But we are both a part of something, as all of us are in this region with this Shell petrochemical plant. And your dad and I at the barber shop for many years would always talk business, and I figured that I had you here today. I want to talk business and how we do see hope, especially from where we are from with the Shell Petrochemical Corporation. $6 billion, but who's counting? The bottom line, they're giving people a whole lot of help. And with that, you see a lot of small businesses getting a bump as far as what's happening, restaurants getting a bump as far as what's happening, and more importantly, people going to work in other jobs that they never thought were possible. And the Keystone Mountain Lake Regional Council of Carpenters, when it's all said and done, will have thousands of people working there. So talk about this transition, and a lot of it is because of what's happening with the Shell Petrochemical plant.
What Rob is mentioning is absolutely correct. Today, the job market in Beaver County, which once was, let's use a very, very one-word answer, depressed. Today, it's very difficult to find good people if you are in need of an employee to add to your company. Electricians, welders, all are in short supply. And that's good in the sense of what's happening, because even in Monaco, where our building is at, one of the people that's considering using our building is a person that's going to be placing a school in there to train people to weld, okay? Schools of that nature never existed in Beaver County. Today, they're looking to put them in. So our world has changed, and it's changing for the better. Much more optimistic about tomorrow and everyone's future.
Listen, I was joking earlier about the black t-shirt. My father always wore a black t-shirt or a white t-shirt, and so did his brother, separated at birth, my good friend Chuck Better. So whenever I wear this, I think of my father and I think of Chuck, I think of your dad and people that are out trying to do something in the way of create jobs. Manufacturing jobs, middle class jobs, as they were in 1949 when my parents said, we are going to get married, and they did. It's St. Cecilia's Church parish that your father's very famous about helping many, many years ago, back in '04 when they had that beautiful unveiling of that church. The only way we're ever going to get back to any kind of common ground is if we get people back to work.
Absolutely. And you brought up Chuck Better's name. Chuck, naturally, many years ago, purchased the J&L facility. Today, over 80% of that ground that Chuck has is covered with metal that's going to head sometime to the cracker plant. You'll see it there from across the river, or you'll see it from on his side of the river if you look close. That is all destined for the cracker plant.
And his son and he, of course, developing that property 8 miles along the Ohio River. Lots of manufacturing plants down there, and the future is bright. We're going to come back and do one more to talk about what he does for a living, and now that Dioguardi family, 4th generation, carrying on that great name. Stay with us, folks. Much more to come here today with Mr. John Dioguardi at KDK Radio in the heart of Green Tree, Pennsylvania. Good morning.